Celebrated Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie has responded without mincing words to media personality Ruben Abati's remark suggesting that Peter Obi's one-term pledge is a sign of desperation.
I'm saying that any politician that comes to you and says, I'm going to do only one term, that's a sign of desperation. It will not work.
In a viral tweet that's now setting X, formerly known as Twitter, on fire, Chimamanda posted a photo of herself and Peter Obi alongside a bold caption, "Obi wants to serve, not desperate like some politicians." Ruben Abati, during a political discussion, criticized Peter Obi's vow to serve only one term if elected president. According to Abati, any politician who promised to do just one term is desperate. He didn't stop there. He even mocked other simple acts Peter Obi is known for, like serving food at events or carrying his own bags. Abati also went further, suggesting that the North would never support a one-term presidency, especially not one led by an Igbo man like Obi. In his words, the civil war in Nigeria has never really ended, and this deep national division will always stand in the way of such ideas. To him, competence should matter more than tribe or symbolism. Yet, ironically, he dismissed a candidate who's widely seen as both competent and humble. But Nigerians didn't let that slide, and neither did Chidinma. Obi wants to serve, not desperate like some politicians. It was a sharp but respectful response, one that perfectly captured what many Nigerians feel. Because here's the truth, humility is not desperation. Promising to do one term is not a weakness. It's a statement that says power is a responsibility, not a lifetime entitlement. Peter Obi has said it clearly. If elected president, he will serve for only one term. He believes 4 years is enough to make a meaningful impact. And Nigerians believes him. This is not a political gimmick. It's a rejection of the sit-tight culture that has kept Nigerians trapped in cycles of failed leadership. And the truth is, Peter Obi has a track record to back it up. As governor of Anambra State, he wasn't desperate for power. He didn't run after contracts or personal wealth. In fact, he left office with billions in the state account, a rare thing in Nigeria. He didn't chase headlines. He focused on results. Compare that to the kind of politics Ruben Abati seems to defend, where politicians make excuses, stay in power for years, and still leave their state or the country worse than they met it. And let's be clear, Peter Obi is not doing boy. He's not carrying food to impress anyone. He's showing that no job is beneath him. He's showing that a leader should serve, not rule. That's why people like Chimamanda and millions of Nigerians across tribes and religions respect him. In a country where most politicians are obsessed with power, Peter Obi stands out, not because he's perfect, but because he's different. He's not trying to be a political godfather. He's not begging for endorsement. He's not clinging to power at all costs. He simply wants to serve. That's what scares the political elite. And that's why people like Ruben Abati are trying to paint him as desperate, but it's not working. Obi's supporters are growing. His message is spreading. So if Peter Obi says he will serve only one term, believe him. If he carries his own bag or sell food at an event, understand what he's saying. I'm not above you. I'm one of you. And if that's desperation, then maybe, just maybe, Nigeria needs more of it. Because in a country battered by arrogance, waste, and corruption from the political elite, that's exactly what many Nigerians are desperate for. Not Peter Obi's supposed desperation, but desperate for something better. Let's not forget, this isn't the first time Chimamanda has stood up for Peter Obi or spoken truth to power. During the aftermath of the controversial 2023 election, she wrote a powerful open letter to President Joe Biden, questioning the US government's quick recognition of Bola Tinubu despite credible reports of electoral malpractice. That letter, published in The Atlantic, sparked international conversation about Nigeria's democratic future, and he firmly placed Chimamanda as one of the boldest voices in support of democratic integrity and transparency in Nigeria. Now she's once again reminding the country of the kind of leadership we should aspire to and the kind we should reject. And let's go back to Ruben Abati's comment for a moment. He said the ideas of a one-term presidency will never work. That's Nigerians don't care about someone serving food or doing boy boy at events. He dismissed those gestures as performance. But the truth is, Nigerians are tired of leaders who act like kings. They are tired of politicians who disappear for 4 years, then show up with empty promises. They are tired of billion-naira convoy, billion-naira feeding budgets, and leaders who treat public office like a private inheritance. So when someone like Peter Obi comes forward and promises only 4 years, not 8, it's not desperation, it's urgency. It's a message that says, I will not waste your time. I will not use the first 4 years to campaign for the next 4. I will work and I will live. And that's the kind of mindset that terrifies the political establishment. Because if Peter Obi succeeds in 4 years, what excuses will others have for staying in office for decades without results? That's why voices like Ruben Abati are trying to twist the narrative, to make humility look like weakness, to make a one-term promise sound like political suicide. But what they don't understand is that Nigerians are watching, and Nigerians are changing. They have seen what 8 years of recycled leadership looks like. Under both APC and PDP, they have lived through economic collapse, fuel hikes, naira devaluation, rising insecurity, and empty speeches. Now they want someone who can deliver in half the time, not someone who wants a permanent seat at the table of power. Peter Obi's promises of one term is not about limiting himself. It's about proving that leadership is not a lifetime career. It's a service, a sacrifice, and if he delivers in 4 years, he will live with his integrity intact. If not, he will step aside. That's leadership. That's what the youth on social media are rallying behind. That's why #Obi2027 keeps gaining traction. Not because he's desperate, but because he's different. This isn't a campaign built on noise or tribalism. It's built on credibility, accountability, and character, and that's rare in Nigerian politics. The sad reality is that many of our leaders see public office as an entitlement. They speak of zoning and turns, as if Nigeria is a family inheritance passed around the elite. They measure success in how long they stay, not in what they actually achieve. 8 years, 10 years, sometimes more, and yet nothing changes. But Peter Obi is saying something else. 4 years is enough. 4 years, if done with focus, is enough to clean up government, restore investor confidence, revive critical sectors, empower small businesses, and uplift millions from poverty. 4 years is enough to reset the system, and it's not just words. We've seen what he did in Anambra, slashing wasteful spending, investing in education, leaving billions in savings, and resisting pressure to enrich himself. That's why people trust him. That's why even global figures like Chimamanda speak boldly in his defense. So when people like Ruben Abati mock him for serving food at parties or promising to be a one-term president, they are not attacking Obi. They are attacking the very idea that politics can be decent, honest, and selfless. They are trying to kill hope before it even takes root. But it's too late. Nigerians are awake now. This is not 1999. This is not 2015. The generations that once kept quiet now hold smartphones, connect across tribal lines, and demand answers. And what they are saying, louder than ever, is that it's time for leaders who serve, not those who scheme. So to Ruben Abati and others who still believe power is a game of longevity and showmanship, here's the message. The people are no longer impressed by suits and grammar. They want results. They want sincerity. They want Peter Obi, not because he's perfect, but because he listens, he sacrifices, and he leads with integrity. And to Chimamanda, your voice matters. Your support reminds Nigerians that we can still dream of a better country. A country where good people don't have to beg for power, and where desperate ones are finally shown the door. 2027 is around the corner. The choices will not be about party or region, it will be about values. And if this moment tells us anything, it's that Nigerians are ready for something new, something honest. So let them mock, let them twist, let them call one-term promises desperation. The truth is, the real desperation is in those clinging to a broken system, terrified of a leader who only wants to serve and then step aside. Peter Obi may not play politics the old way, but that's exactly why he still gives this country hope. And in 2027, the hope might finally become history.